Right now at noon, Waukesha police investigating a double homicide where they say a person of interest was taken into custody. Plus, Concerts on the Square announces the lineup for the season, when you'll be able to head back to Capitol Square. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. We are starting with the weather this afternoon because southern Wisconsin could be in for some heavy rain and snow this week. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano is tracking it all and his certified most accurate forecast. He's out on the weather patio. Hi, Jacob.
Hey Josh, we actually are already seeing some light rain, but this is not expected to be the beginning of the alert day. That won't come until tomorrow. But look at the current radar. We are seeing some light rain and some light snow showers with a line of precipitation off to the north. Zooming further in, this is moving pretty quickly. Some moderate bands of precipitation within this, but otherwise this is going to be very brief, and we actually will see partly sunny skies later today. Looking at future track, we are expected to see those sunny skies before sunset, but looking at the overnight forecast, we'll see more consistent rain move in, but this still is not when the alert day will begin because this rain will clear out, at least mostly clear out by the time we get to Tuesday morning. But by Tuesday afternoon, you can see from the south, here comes that consistent rainfall, and this is when the alert day will begin, and it is expected to continue through all of Wednesday. But until then, the rest of today will be pretty quiet. Don't be surprised if you see a few light showers over the next few hours, but closer to sunset, we are likely going to be dry, and then we'll have another chance of rainfall later tonight. As we take a look at the temperatures, in the 40s right now, and they're going to be in the middle 40s for the afternoon. As I mentioned, we'll see that sunshine later in the day, and that may cause some areas to get close to 50 with more cloud cover further north and west, north and east. So overall, I'll talk more in detail about the alert day later, but for right now, still kind of the calm before the storm.
All right, Jacob, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Reminder, you can stay up to date on the latest storm track on the First Warn weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and radar. Download it for free wherever you get your apps. The Department of Criminal Investigation is looking into a police pursuit that ended into a deadly crash. It happened in the town of Blue Mounds last night. The DOJ says the Wisconsin State Patrol tried to initiate a traffic stop. The person failed to stop and it led to a pursuit. The chase ended when the person crashed. They were pronounced dead at the scene. No law enforcement or anyone else was hurt in that incident. 2 people in Waukesha are dead and a person of interest is in custody. Authorities are investigating it as a double homicide. Police in a small town in Kansas say they took a juvenile into custody that they believe is a person of interest in the double homicide. Police first found one person dead in a home after a welfare check on Friday. Then Saturday night, police announced a second person had been found dead. Neighbors watched the entire search unfold.
We had 15, 20 vehicles here yesterday, all night, most of the night, and people walking in the by the pond with flashlights. It's been about 2 weeks. The garbage hasn't been out, and we just assumed they were on vacation.
Investigators have not yet officially identified either victim or how they died. They also have not explained the gap in time between the discovery of the 2 bodies. Meanwhile, in the Kansas town of Waukesha, police say the person of interest is awaiting extradition to Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Air National Guard will be conducting evening training flights in the Madison area starting today. The training is expected to last through Thursday. According to the 115th Fighter Wing, they plan to have the flights wrap up around 9:30 each evening. The move is required to ensure airmen are ready to operate in all conditions. The Guard will follow flight paths that are designed to minimize noise to those in the area near Truax Field. The Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra has announced the lineup for its 42nd season of Concerts on the Square. The free concerts will run on Wednesdays from June 25th to July 30th. This year's season kicks off with Dancing in the Street on June 25th. Las Vegas-based group Radiance will join the orchestra to showcase the hits of Motown from legendary acts including the Vandellas, the Supremes, and Aretha Franklin.
But it's really music that will just enhance everybody's experience. You can say, is it a picnic with music or is it a concert with a picnic?
The concerts will be back at the King Street corner of Capitol Square. Remember, you can lay those blankets down starting at 3 in the afternoon. The streets will be closed to traffic beginning at 5. Those performances begin at 7. Well, it is the final week to nominate a local veteran for the Spirit of Service Award as News 3 Now partners with Vortex. All you have to do is log on to channel3000.com and nominate a veteran in your life doing something good. We'll be sharing their stories and you'll get a chance to vote and choose which veteran gets to take home that $5,000 cash prize. A winner will be announced in early April. Still ahead for us this afternoon. If you have a question or concern about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in the broadcast with the answers. Again, that is tips@channel3000.com. But first at noon, who came out on top of the weekend box office? Plus, why the value of Bitcoin and several other cryptocurrencies shot up this weekend.
The value of Bitcoin and several other cryptocurrencies shot up Sunday after President Trump posted on social media that his Digital Assets Working Group is moving forward on a crypto strategic reserve. The president repeated his pledge to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world while listing Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano as under consideration for the reserve. This Oscars weekend, Captain America Brave New World continued to soar atop the domestic box office for the third weekend in a row, bringing in $15 million. Last Breath, the true story of a 2012 diving accident, took second with close to $8 million. Horror flick The Monkey was third, earning more than $6 million. And let the good times roll at Krispy Kreme. Tomorrow, customers who come in wearing Mardi Gras beads can get a free original glazed donut. The deal is limited to only one donut per person with no purchase necessary. That's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow was down 178 points, NASDAQ down 156, and the S&P 500 down this hour 12. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You can call for action. It's 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. Pam has the farm numbers ahead, plus Jacob returns with the first warn forecast, and later on Live at 4, Will Loper on the big winners at the Academy Awards. Welcome back. Let's check in now. Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Happy Monday, Pam.
Yeah, it was pretty happy until you see the cloudy overcast skies. Then it makes you sleepy. But boy, we're on the right path as far as temperatures are concerned. I was up at the home farm this weekend. The buckets are out. The sap is running. A lot of our maple syrup producers have stepped into the woods trying to get that sweet nectar to turn it into maple syrup. So we know something is right in the world. Hey, speaking of that weather, though, the National Weather Service in Wisconsin has launched their Rain Gauge Rally 2025, basically asking you to become a part of the rainfall reporting system that a lot of our forecasters depend on when it comes to their forecast. You stop and think about rural communities, especially when you see areas that aren't very populated. Those are the areas where they most need people to put rain gauges out. Simple to do. Just go to wisconsinweatherwatchers.org and you'll find out all the details on how you can become a part of that citizen science group. WisconsinWeatherWatchers.org. I'll be talking about this all month long. Rain Gauge Rally 2025. Also, don't forget, space is starting to get a little tight for our Railroading the Rockies adventure that's coming up starting July 26th. We're going to go a little different route than we normally go, starting in Calgary. If you are still interested in joining us, please at least inquire for a brochure or watch the video online to get the process started, because like I said, seats are a little bit tight. Markets are a little bit tight today in Chicago. It is the third day of March. There's a lot of anxiety in agriculture about the potential for tariffs, or shall we say retaliatory tariffs. Dairy, for example, Wisconsin dairy concerned because Mexico is our number one target when it comes for dairy exports. Also pork. Mexico, the number one customer for U.S. pork. So both those commodities very, very anxious about what's going on with potential, not just tariffs that we execute, but also retaliatory tariffs that places like Mexico and Canada can send back on us. Barrel cheese today in Chicago up 1/4 cent at 178 1/4. But Josh, here's a perfect example. We lost more than 9 cents on block cheese Friday, down another 5.5 today at 172. That is basically the market saying, get in line and try to make sure that our U.S. dairy products are still competitive with world products when it comes to prices and that retaliatory tariff possibility. We don't know anything right now, but like I said, the market's signaling that they're getting ready for it.
Yeah, that roller coaster, just like our March weather here in Wisconsin, continues.
Yes, that's right. No flat lines anywhere in our lives, Josh.
Got to keep us on the edge of our seat always, Pam.
That's right.
All right, you have a good afternoon. Good to check in with you.
See you later.
Let's get to that certified most accurate forecast. First, meteorologist Jacob Montesano has the 3 things we need to know. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, as we take a look at those 3 things, we'll see some light rain tonight, even some light rain during the day, as I mentioned earlier. But the bulk of the precipitation will move in Tuesday afternoon, and especially by Tuesday evening, we're going to see some heavy rainfall. And then as temperatures cool down, that rain will transition to snowfall by Wednesday morning. And all of that heavy rain and the snowfall will lead to alert day conditions. We also will see windy conditions as well. So starting Tuesday afternoon and lasting for pretty much all of Wednesday. Now, as we take a look at the current winter weather bulletins, the further north and west you're located, the more snow you will see. And right now there are winter storm watches in effect for La Crosse and areas to the north and west of that. Could see a few possibly winter weather advisories go into effect for northern and western counties over the next 24 hours. But for right now, all the advisories and watches are to the northwest of our area. But we still are expected to see some snowfall. So clear skies later today, more like partly sunny skies. And then we'll see that light rain move in later in the night. This is expected to be mostly light, and it also will be pretty brief. Should clear out by Tuesday morning. Could see some sprinkles to start your day on Tuesday. But as we get into the afternoon, that consistent rainfall will move into our area, and especially by the evening, we're going to see widespread rain, and in some cases, the rain could be pretty heavy. We also could see a few isolated storms, although there's not really a risk for any severe weather. So throughout the evening, all rainfall. Later in the evening toward the overnight hours, you can see off to the north and west, some of that rain may transition into snowfall, and that transition will continue throughout the night. Still going to see some rainfall for Madison and areas to the east until about sunrise Wednesday, when we could see that snow start to creep into Dane County. And then throughout the day on Wednesday, much of the area will see the rain completely transition into snowfall. By the late morning and afternoon, we will see all snowfall, but that's also when the snow will begin to break up. May see some lingering snow showers by the evening, but most of it will clear out by Wednesday night and certainly clearing out by Thursday morning. So as we take a look at the snowfall accumulation forecast, again, pretty much the further north and further west you're located, the more snow you will see. Possibly around 4 to 6 for La Crosse, 1 to 2, maybe up to 4 inches for areas near the Mississippi River in our area. Also 1 to 2 inches for Juneau and Adams County. Not as much for Dane County, and even less the further south and east you go. But everybody will see plenty of rainfall. This is the rainfall forecast, about 1/4 of an inch tonight. And then as we see that consistent rainfall for Tuesday evening into Wednesday, we're going to see possibly over an inch, maybe up to 2 inches. And this is definitely good news considering the drought situation shows a moderate drought for southern Wisconsin. Now, on top of all that, we're also going to see windy conditions. A little bit of a breeze today, gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour, not a big issue. And even for Tuesday, the winds are not going to be too bad, and they're going to remain rather calm as we head into the overnight hours. But as we get to Wednesday morning and those winds shift out of the north and northwest, that's when the winds will really pick up, and the gustiest time does look to be Wednesday afternoon into the Wednesday evening. But similar to the precipitation, this will clear out and calm down by the time we get to Thursday morning. So a very messy forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. We have another chance of some snow showers, rain and snow showers on Friday. But take a look at early next week. We could be talking about our first 60s so far this year, and some miles are even suggesting we could be flirting with 70s. So we are going to see that messy forecast, like I mentioned, but there is very nice weather on the horizon for early next week. It definitely will feel like spring by then. And as far as the next couple of days, again, we definitely need the rainfall, so this isn't all, bad news, but it will be pretty messy, as I mentioned.
One of those 10 days where there truly is something for everybody in the forecast.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Jacob. Well, today, Howard's cooking up a hearty one-pot favorite in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Nothing seems to be more comforting this time of year than a steaming bowl of soup. And when it's homemade, all the better. So today, I want to share our from-scratch split pea soup that is so good and so easy. You're going to want to make this over and over again. We start by sautéing a pound or so of stew meat in a bit of vegetable oil. Once it's browned on all sides, we add some cut up potatoes to the same pot, along with the trifecta of veggies. You know, carrots, celery, and onions. Now we add a good amount of chicken broth, our split peas, and a bit of salt and pepper. And in case you're wondering, split peas are simply regular peas that have been removed from their pods, dried, and split in half. Once this comes to a boil, we'll turn it down so it can simmer till everything is tender. You know, the nice thing about this is we can customize it by using short ribs or flank steak instead of the stew meat, or replacing the chicken broth with beef broth. No matter which way you go, when you dish this up and top it with some crispy, crunchy croutons, get ready for comfort at its best. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for both our easy beefed up split pea soup and some of the best croutons you've ever had. It's so warm and satisfying, there's a pretty good chance it's going to become a year-round favorite. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a comforting way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. Email those questions to tips@channel3000.com, and we'll get the answers next. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here with your plant and garden questions. You can email them at tips@channel3000.com. Well, we made it to March.
We did.
Meteorological spring is here.
Yes, and did March come in like a lamb or a lion? It was kind of iffy. It was super windy on Friday.
It was wild. Wasn't that wind crazy?
It was, so I don't know.
Well, the next couple of days are going to be not great. So
this is what, third winter?
I know. And then we'll get to what, the muddy season? There's like all these things.
Yeah.
What do we got here on the table?
Spring of deception is over.
There you go.
This is a succulent called kiwi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so succulents make great house plants, and they also make great outdoor plants in the summer. The trick is to give them a really sunny spot, really hold back on the watering. I always say, like, maybe for every inch of diameter on this pot, you'd want to wait about a week between waterings. And they also don't mind cool temperatures in your house. So if you have a cool, sunny window, that would be perfect for them.
I love it. All right, let's get to the questions today. We're going to start with Sharon. Sharon says that her Japanese willow tree is not looking very good. Is there something that she can do for the trunk? I showed you a little picture.
Yeah, I did see the picture. And it looked a little bit like it was more a Japanese lilac than a Japanese willow. But I couldn't see anything beyond just that shot. It has a really nasty, either a frost crack or somebody banged into it with an implement of destruction, like a lawnmower or a string trimmer. And so the best thing to do, I did notice that it's callousing over nicely, which means it's healing on its own. I would make sure that things don't get lodged inside of that, what's remaining of that crack. Eventually it will seal up completely and you'll just see the line. Keep the tree vigorous, so water it when it needs to. If it's not mulched, I would certainly mulch it. And keep those implements of destruction away from the trunks of your trees. Implements of destruction.
Yes. I like that term. All right, Jeannie asks, she says with the temperatures in the 40s, can she put her indoor plants outside in a sheltered area for the day? If not, when can she start bringing them back out?
I would really wait until temperatures during the day are closer to the 60s. A lot of houseplants that we have spend the summer outdoors on your patio or your porch and then bring them in when the temperatures start to cool, resent the moving in back and forth. So I would wait until the weather's nicer more consistently and then put them out. What you can put out is if you have any seedlings in your house for cool weather things, you could certainly put those out on nice days. They'll really appreciate that, and that will start to acclimate them to the cooler temperatures.
It's that time of the year, we're excited.
We do. We all want pansies, and hey, we've got them coming into the garden center sometime this week. So email the plant desk, and we'll let you know when they're here.
Oh, I love it.
Or watch our Facebook page, because that'll be a huge announcement.
Big deal. Yes. All right, Lisa, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Jacob for a final check of your first warned weather.
Yeah, for today, we could see a few peaks of sunshine later today with light rain tonight, and then that consistent rain will move in for the afternoon tomorrow. That's when the alert day will begin. Rain is going to continue for much of the night, then transition to snow probably by Wednesday morning, but especially by Wednesday afternoon. It also will be windy by Wednesday afternoon, and then the system will clear out Wednesday night into Thursday. Another chance of precipitation Friday, but then next weekend and next week looking very nice right now, where we could see a few days in the 60s.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for joining us today at noon. Have a great afternoon. Susan and Brady back with you live at 4.